Right, hi guys, this is knivesfishwild, and this video will be about this cKc Trailblazer Mini. This knife was shown in the previous video called the Fixed Blade Knives Collection. And I've put this knife up for sale, and very soon after, a great guy bought it from me after watching it on YouTube, and so I'm really pleased to sell it to him, even though it was a struggle to actually decide to let go of this knife, because the more I look at it, the more I really it's always a struggle to sell Kylie's knives. In fact, this is the very first of Kylie's knife that I'm actually selling away. Even the thought of selling is always a struggle because they're such great knives. But the reason I'm selling is just because I have too many of this. I feel that I have too many knives, of this length. So, in every hobby, you have to just let go of some stuff so that you can, maybe use the funds to fund, other stuff. So, so to check out Knives and Stuff, which is Kylie's YouTube nick, and this knife is such a great knife, I would say. Look at the thick stock, even the Thrive doesn't compare. Well, this is the Kydex sheath. I can get it out of the way now after showing it. And let's just bring up the Thrive. Okay, let's just do a comparison between the Thrive and the Trailblazer Mini. Okay, let's see. So the one on top here is the Thrive, okay, and the one below the Trailblazer Mini, obviously. So the Trailblazer has a thicker spine, okay, so that means the steel stock is thicker, okay. And one more thing, other than just noticing the spine thickness, okay, always also look at the blade tip, okay. As you can see, the one on top is the Thrive, and what happens, you can see it tapers down thinner, okay, look at it. Then this, which is the Trailblazer Mini, meaning it has a finer tip, a weaker tip also than the more robust Trailblazer Mini. So there are some differences, differences can be subtle to the untrained eye, okay, so to speak, when it comes to knives. So obviously, different characteristics of the knife will give it different attributes. So if you ask me which is a more which is a more hardcore survival knife, I would say it is the Trailblazer, okay, because it's going to have greater tip strength and even prying strength if you need to, okay, and the tip will definitely withstand more impact than the finer tip of my Thrive. So these different characteristics, give it different attributes, uses, and abilities. Okay, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so just take note. Okay, and obviously because of the thicker steel, of the Trailblazer Mini, it has a much greater heft than the Thrive. Now, next we compare the handle length. Okay, we're just going to compare the Mikata scales. As you can see, the the handle of the Trailblazer is definitely longer than the Thrive. Okay, so which means you have this longer handle enables this Trailblazer to be used differently, from the Thrive. No, I mean not differently, but it does help a lot. Okay, in certain tasks that you do with the Trailblazer. For example, in batoning. Okay, let me use my left hand to hold it. Okay, let's say when I'm batoning a piece of wood. Okay, this being the wood. Okay, and just let me use this beaten up stick for once. Okay, so when I baton, okay, what's going to happen is, because my the handle is long, I can actually hold the knife towards the back of the handle. Okay, and that reduces the shock, okay, to the hands when batoning. And also, of course, there is some added safety. Okay, depends on which part of the knife that you baton. And sometimes in a real survival situation, you can be quite tired. Okay, and situating the hand further from the blade does help, to reduce impact on the hand. But also, more importantly, it reduces the shock. So that's the one good thing about this XXL handle. Okay. Another thing is, because it is such a long handle, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, and my hands are definitely much smaller than Kylie, but this handle is meant even for his hands to be larger than his hands. So even in the reverse chest lever grip, okay, you this flare, this fishtail flare over here doesn't dig into the palm, because it extends past the palm. Can you see? Okay, so when you try it, you would know the dip, you would know the feeling. Okay, this part never digs into the palm, no matter how large your hands are. And that's why Kylie incorporates this fishtail or flare into the pommel area of the handle. He only does this because he makes an extra long handle, unlike the Bravo one, which has a shorter handle but has this similar flat back end. And this part, I believe, in the Bravo one, can actually dig in to your hands if they are not small, like mine. Okay, so that's the rationale, for a longer handle. There are various reasons, like for batoning, for reverse chest lever grip, and I would say this extra long handle also gives it the ability to extend, gives makes the blade longer, so to speak, because of the extension, the reach. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. It can extend your reach, and as a result it can do some light chopping, okay, can do some light chopping because you can hold it far back, and because of this flare, it allows you, the user, to hook, it allows the pinky not to slide out from the handle, okay, for some security, right? I hope you get what I mean. Just as the guard, stops the index and thumb from sliding forward, preventing you from cutting yourself with the edge. This flare over here enables you to pull a knife out if it gets stuck, in wood or maybe even flesh and bone. I don't know. Okay, and another feature about the Trailblazer Mini is that if you notice, it has a very pronounced and protruded guard area. In the Hunter's version, this metal part is taken off, so you have a much shallower, finger guard. But with this original full version, it is definitely a safer knife, and I would say that is more practical in a survival situation. The reason why the Hunter's version has this part, over here, removed is because, when skinning, this part may hook on to the hide of the animal. Okay, so, but for an outdoor survival knife, you want this guard. It is very safe, and if you use it as in this grip here like that, okay, this knife is actually a very good fighting knife. Remember, I said this knife, because of the thick stock, really has a heft to it, and because it's such a beast of a small knife, holding it like that, you can use it to stab if you need, okay, for defense against, whether God forbid, human beings, but maybe animals, in the wild. You can stab it, you can stab like that, but at the same time you have a pommel, okay, so you can stab, slash, but also use the pommel to do a sideways pommel. Let's say on a human attacker, okay, let's say this is the head, of the attacker, okay. For self-defense, this very protruded pommel, will enable you to smash against his temple. Try not to do that. It is a very devastating blow. But this hard part, when smashed against his temple, can even deal a fatal, blow, so to speak. But you can use this to pummel, other parts of his body. So you can do a slash, but you can also do a pummel. Pummel. Okay. so that's what I like to just talk about and add on about this Trailblazer Mini. But overall, it has a very the one of the thing that really sticks out in this knife is the long handle, okay, which gives extension and a range of other attributes, as well as the heft, okay. And when these two features combine together, this small knife can do more than a lot of other knives. Of course, the trade-off would be the weight. You would have to carry a heavier, a weightier knife. But if this is one of your most important tools in a survival situation, I think the extra weight is actually worth it, right? And let's just have a look at the, one last look, at the convex. It's so beautiful. Can you see the grind? Lovely, lovely. And I was telling the buyer, that, starting with thick stock is always good because you can grind it down. But if you start with a thin, stock, then, you can't add more steel. And if you want a hunter's version, you can always remove it, this part in future. Okay. So, that's just, some common sense. Oh, I'm not saying him. I'm just saying, to people, in general, if, when you start with something extra, you can always, take off the extra, shave the extra later. Okay. So, I'm just going to do a few cut tests, just to show off, not show off, I mean just to show. So this is how I strop the knife, Oops. Wasn't watching. Okay. So just a few strokes on the leather should, make this edge really sharp. Okay. So let's just try it out. Okay. Let's take away the thrive, and okay, let's start with I believe it's pretty sharp now. Okay. Okay, so I'll just take a receipt paper, as you can see, a very flimsy kind of paper, and let's see how, it cuts. Okay, as you can see, no problem, right? So it may seem like a thick knife, but it actually cuts better, with little cutting resistance compared to a lot of other knives. Why? Because people think this part here, being such a thick spine, will affect cutting, or the edge is very thick, so to speak. But it's not true, because it is a convex grind, and the edge is actually very fine. So you have the best of both worlds. You have the sturdiness of a thick spine, but a very fine cutting edge. And this cutting edge, you can always, if you find it too weak, but that's not the case on this knife. It is just nice. Okay. In fact, this edge is a good balance, for a knife of this thickness. It is neither ground too thin, neither is it too thick. It is just right for a knife with its purpose. The reason why it cuts so well is because there is no secondary bevel for resistance, but at the same time, the tip is actually, the edge is actually very sharp as well. So you see, you can do such things to paper. You see? Can you see? Hear the sound, okay? So, a very good edge. And other than paper, let me just try to do some wood shaving with it. Okay, this wooden rod here is actually there is, I believe, something like a bit of a knot throughout this entire thing. So this is extra hard, you know, when as far as this kind of rods are concerned. So, but let's just do a shaving, a wood shaving. You see, it may look like a thick knife. It is a thick knife, but just look at the way it can shave, you know, do these small wood shavings. Okay, let me just find a cleaner part here. Okay, so these are actually places of the wood that are actually hard to do these shavings, but you know, just look at it. Okay, alright, so not that optimal because of the kind of grain on this wood. Let's try it over here. Yes, as you can see. Now I'm pushing rather gently now. Okay. Okay. So I'm not in a in a very good position to do it right now. Okay. But anyhow, you can see that it can do, you know, fine curls and shaving like this, right? Okay, so lastly we'll do a cardboard slice test, but this is no ordinary cardboard. It is not just corrugated board. Okay, there is a sort of like a plastic film, you know, a very thick wax paper like plasticky film on one side. Although it's thin, it's pretty compact, you know. But anyhow, let's do the slides, right? As you can see, very little resistance compared to, you know, you can tell the difference, right? You know, why? Because of the convex grind on this beast of a knife. So this is knivesfishwild, and you know, after work you can just, you know, if you really love your knife, you can just do a bit of just a few quick strokes, you know, on each side, like 3 or 4, you know, and 1, 2, then you know, you have a very sharp edge again. Let's just do one more cut with the receipt paper. Okay, is that sharp enough? Okay, I think so. A very sharp working edge. Okay, and you know, if you really need to restore it or anything, you know, unless it's a very, you know, big chip or anything, you know, just using 1,000 grit or 1,000 grit sandpaper, you know, would be very good, you know, for sharpening this kind of knife, this kind of steel, Kylie's 01 steel, in my opinion. Okay, so this is knivesfishwild. The video is longer than I wanted again, but hope you enjoy it. As for the micarta scales, you know, you can always use fine grit sandpaper to sand it, and it becomes as good as new again. Okay, you know, this is, you know, it's just the way it is, but it's still very smooth. Okay, you know, when it comes from, you know, New Zealand, it's usually there's like a light coat of oil on it, so you can see that it is, you know, like very brown and continuous. Okay, but if you just wash it with some dishwashing liquid and all after use, you know, such things can appear, but it's okay, you know, that's normal for canvas micarta. But if you are very particular about the looks, just use fine grit sandpaper and it restores beautifully. Okay, The cKc logo is here. Okay, his new logo, very nice, like an eternity kind of sign. And you know, number 1 and the O1 stamp over here. Okay, and this knife, you know, the scales are glued. So yes, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy this video, and I'm sure you're getting a very good knife. You know, the performance of this knife, you know, and its attributes are just unique, one of a kind, and exceptional. So stay tuned for, you know, more videos. I have lots of backlog of things that I want to review, and you know, some other things to talk about. You know, so hope you guys stay tuned, and thanks for supporting the channel, and you know, making friends online with me. So thank you, you know, the buyer Enrique, you know, such a great guy. He lives in New York City, and you know, just thank God that, you know, he's safe. But you know, yeah, some people are less fortunate in New York City. So you know, guys, just keep praying for America, and you know, give them the support. You know, America, you can say what you want about it, okay, but it is definitely a player, you know, a key player in the world that we live in, you know. And if America does well, you know, not just economically, but also morally and ethically, you know, it really benefits the entire world. Okay, so it's not a perfect country. You know, countries all strive for, you know, benefits. You know, to benefit themselves. You know, protect their, you know, protect their interests and all. So you know, overall, you know, America isn't a whatever America is. Okay, you don't you don't put America down, but you have to correct what is wrong in this world. Okay, countries uh, are just, you know, uh, you know, are just borders that are dictated by man, you know, so to speak. But I believe there's God's hand in it as well. You know, but however it is, this earth is the Lord's, you know. So whatever the religion, doesn't matter. Okay, but we all still live on the same earth, and whatever our country is, you know, we are still all mankind, humankind. Okay, so look out for each other. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. God bless, stay safe, and till the next movie or video. Bye bye. Yes, one last thing. I haven't shown the tip of, you know, this Trailblazer Mini. Okay, so this is the tip. It is a very strong tip. Let me try to focus it. Okay, it is a strong tip. Okay, but yet it is a very pointy, and in fact this tip I have you know, made it needle sharp. Okay, when you get the knife, you will feel it. Okay, it already came very pointy and sharp, you know. But I guess through some touch-up sharpening, it has now become like a needlepoint receipt paper. You know, I just use the tip and it can penetrate the receipt paper. Okay, sorry, let me put it in frame. Receipt paper, tip coming through. Okay, it's able to pierce, you know, receipt paper. That's how sharp it is. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys.